All right, let's take a look at some connection problems. Again, we're talking about area. It says the area of a rectangle. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle just in case we need it for dimensions. Okay, the area is 57.6 square feet. If the length of the long side of the rectangle is 60% greater than the short side, what's the length of the longer side? Okay, so we have a length and we have a width. Let's call our width or our shorter side x. Okay, it said the longer side is 60% greater than that. Now if we move our decimal over to write this as a decimal instead of percent, that gives us 0.6. Okay, but notice it's x plus 0.6 more. Okay, it's the full side here plus 0.6 more, or 1.6 x. Okay, well, how would we write the area? Because that's what they gave us, was the area of the rectangle. Well, remember that the area of a rectangle is length times width. In this case, our length is 1.6x and our width is x. So our area is 1.6x squared, because x times x is x squared. Now let's put in what we know our area happens to be. Our area happens to be 57.6. Okay, we want to solve for x, so we would divide both sides by 1.6. Get our x by itself. That gives us 36. Now notice x is still not alone. It still has this little 2, which means squared. To undo a squared, you do the square root. So what is the square root of 36? What number times itself equals 36? Well, 6 does. Okay, so let's take a look at what we just found out. We found out that x was 6. Now, taking that back up here to our figure we labeled, that was our shorter side. Our shorter side was x. The longer side, which is the one they want, is 60% larger, or 1.6 times our x, which happened to be 6. So for our longer side, we're going to take 6 times 1.6. That gives us 9.6. Okay, so the length of the longer side was 9.6. The shorter side was a length of 6. Hey, this is a similar type of problem. It just deals with a triangle instead of a rectangle. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a triangle. This is just the most convenient one to draw for base and height. Okay, so a triangle has area of 24.3 square centimeters. If its base is 60% of its height, what is its height? Okay, so let's just put the height here. The base is 60% of that. Now notice it didn't say 60% longer, it said 60% of. So it's 0.6 times the h instead of 1.6. So hopefully you see the difference there. This is 60% of instead of being 60% longer. So this is our triangle. Here's our base is 0.6h and our height is h. The area for a triangle, you take the base times the height and you divide it by 2. So our area, 24.3, is equal to 0.6h, our base, times our height, h, divided by 2. We want to go ahead and simplify anything we can in that situation. We can take h times an h and we get h squared. So we have 0.6h squared divided by 2. We can also simplify this. 0.6 divided by 2 is 0.3. So now we're down to 24.3 equals 0.3h squared. We want to get the h by itself again, so we take and divide both sides by 0.3. We get 24.3 divided by 0.3 is 81. So we get h squared is 81. Now again, to get rid of a squared, you do the opposite of squaring and you do the square root. Hopefully you recognize the square root symbol there. It means what number times itself is 81. And since 9 times 9 is 81, the square root of 81 is 9. So my height is 9. Okay. If I wanted the other dimension, I would take 0.6 times 9, but they didn't ask for the base. They asked for the height, so